Hi, so I finally saw the Peter Rabbit movie last night, and I will say that as someone who grew up on the Beatrix Potter books, I completely enjoyed the movie, 100%. I thought it was a cinematic masterpiece, if you will. If you really care about spoilers, then I would suggest you either watch the movie first and come back and watch the video, or vice versa. But yeah, so let's get started. This movie stars Peter Rabbit, as well as his friends and family, and the whole plot is that they like to go into this old man's garden to steal his vegetables because they're rabbits and they like vegetables. The old man dies of a heart attack, and they think that this means that the garden is theirs and the house and all of this is like their territory now. Little do they know that the old man's great nephew is en route to come and live in the house temporarily. And this man does not like wildlife at all. When Thomas finds out that he didn't get the position that he'd been working towards for 10 years, as he puts it, he gets a little angry, and when he finds out that the position is given to someone who didn't care about the position, he goes a little nuts and smashes a bunch of toys off of tables and just like smashes stuff. So he's fired. But he does end up inheriting his great uncle's house, this pretty little house in the country. So he moves there, and his plan is to fix it up and put it back on the market as soon as possible so that he can use his money to open up his own toy store and move it close to the toy store he used to work at so that they can, quote, witness their own downfall. However, his plans are put on pause when the pretty young neighbor Bee, Beatrix Potter, takes a liking to him. So that happens. It's very cute. She gives him a pair of binoculars, and he starts to mark down all the birds that he sees, which is just absolutely adorable. There's a really, really, really cute date montage that him and Beatrix are a part of, like having picnics and sailing on canoes and yoga, which is good. Meanwhile, this whole time, Bee has been taking care of Peter and his friends and painting pictures of them. She's a painter, and just taking care of them, and she's kind of like a mother figure to them, which is why Peter is so jealous when there's a new man in her life. So he does his best to drive a wedge between them, which makes Thomas even more angry than he was before when the rabbits were just stealing vegetables. So they are fighting throughout the whole movie. They're going at it. And in the end, something big happens. I won't get into it. And Thomas is blamed, but it's really Peter's fault. They were both at fault, but whatever. And then Beatrix basically breaks up with him, and she's planning on leaving. And he goes back to London, and he's offered his position back, so he takes it. And then Peter Rabbit feels really bad, so him and Benjamin Bunny travel to London and meet him at the toy store and convince him to come back. So he does, and it's a happy ending, and it's just adorable. And watching it, I basically was like, this is what I want my life to be. I want to be living in a small little cottage in the country, painting the wildlife, and then have this guy come, move in right next door, and fall in love. Like, that's any girl's dream. Guys, take note of this. Now let's talk about the controversy. That's right. There was a big backlash, mostly from people who I think didn't actually see the movie. So Thomas is allergic to blackberries, and at one point he was trying to kill the rabbits with, I think it was a garden hoe or something like that, and they shoot with a slingshot. They shoot a blackberry into his mouth, and they knew that he was allergic, and then he goes into anaphylactic shock, I believe, and stabbed himself with his EpiPen. And the controversy was that they were making light of allergies, and like the rabbits knew that he was allergic, like deathly allergic to the fruit, and they still did it on purpose. But like, if you saw the movie, like, he was trying to kill them, so I would feel like if I was in that position, I would do anything not to be killed, even if that meant shooting a blackberry into his mouth. I understand the perspective of, like, say, mothers with kids that have really serious allergies and they must worry every single day when their kid goes to school. But starting hashtags like hashtag boycott Peter Rabbit and all this stuff, it's just like, come on. Sony Pictures even put out an apology about it. I think it's a bit much. I think that it was a joke, maybe in poor taste, but what can you do? I think we can just overlook this. In the end, this movie was a 10. I don't know about a 10. I'm not going to start scoring these things because I'm not a real movie reviewer, and this is just something I think I'm going to do like once in a while. But it was a really good movie. This movie has something for everyone. Kids, parents, even teens. Yeah, a film that the entire family can genuinely enjoy. So if you guys haven't seen Peter Rabbit, go see Peter Rabbit. It's awesome, especially if you like read the books when you were a kid. You will really enjoy it. Miss Tiggy Winkle's in it. She's my fave. So yeah. Hello?